and welcome to Moonbeam Connections. I'm Jacqui-Leigh. Today on Tarot Whispers, we're looking at the World card. So you see in the World card, we have a woman in the middle. She's carrying she's got one wand in each hand, and we've got this circle around her of foliage, I guess. I would say foliage. And we've got like the ram and the eagle, the lion. I'm unsure actually what this one is supposed to represent. But at any rate, the idea of the World card is about completion, the end of a cycle. So it's the last card in the major arcana. It goes from the Fool, setting off on the adventure, to the World card at the end, which is a completion of, you've gone through sort of all these steps. You've gone through this cycle. You've gone through these trials and tribulations. Don't necessarily have to always be trials and tribulations, but you've gone through things. You've learned things. The cycle is coming to the end, and now you're starting a new cycle. And so that's what the World is about. It's about completion. It's about achieving things, right? You've accomplished stuff, and now you're going into a new cycle. It's about wholeness, being complete. You've kind of gone through all these steps. You've learned things. You've progressed along the way. So that's really the meaning behind it. It's about cycles, but we have the Wheel of Fortune where this, cycle is always turning, the wheel's always turning. This is more about we're completing the end of one chapter, starting the beginning of a new chapter, completing the end of one cycle, starting the beginning of a new cycle. And these are major cycles. So this isn't just, I finished one report at work and now I'm going to start a new report at work. That would not be represented by the World card. The World card would be represented by, I finished high school, now I'm going into university. I finished my being single, and now I'm getting married. I finished being a parent, and now I'm going to be an empty nester, right? So it's more related to major events in your world, major events in your life. So it's the completion of one thing. Oh, and I just got to pause this for a second. I shall be right back. And I'm back. I'm sorry about that. My background music there went into commercials. Started hearing talking. But so anyways, the general thing is this is the last major arcana card. We've gone through the cycle, right? We've gone through this chapter. We've gone through this portion of our life. And we've come to the end of the end of the chapter, the end of the cycle, and we're going to start anew. So you can get this card right as you're ending something, right as you're beginning something, right as you're in that transition period where nothing's happening. Maybe you have gotten a divorce, but you're not dating anyone new, right? Your divorce is the end of a chapter. Dating someone new will be the beginning of a new chapter. However, right now you're single and, doing the healing process of being in the middle, or not the middle of the cycle, but kind of in between the end of and the beginning of a new cycle is not a bad thing, right? That's where we can heal and reflect and learn from our past. So it's these major life events, ending of a chapter, beginning of a new chapter. And that is what's symbolized by the World card. So I'll bring out my board now. As always, I write in silence and then I dub over top. So sometimes it sounds a little off, or I can't read my writing or whatnot, but I do try my best. So I'm going to be silent for a moment, get into my meditation mode, and we will see what Spirit has to say to us about the World card. The World card is for major events, transitions, and cycles in your life. The end of something. Closing the book on something. Shutting the door on something. So that something new can enter your life, or so you can begin something new. The world is neither positive or negative. It is neutral. You may close the chapter on a horrible part of your life, or on the best thing to ever happen in your life. The real question is, have you learned the lessons? If you have learned from this cycle, you will start into a more prosperous, happy cycle. If you have not learned from this cycle, you will find yourself in the same type of situations yet again, and repeat the cycles of old. When the world card appears, remember to reflect. Learn from the past and move forward, releasing all that does not belong in your life. All that does not serve you. By doing this, you will align with your path and find the path only brings you the highest and greatest good. When you don't reflect and learn, you are doomed to repeat negative cycles and patterns again. Always be grateful for endings because they allow new opportunities, new experiences into your life. Love. What Spirit is saying here is that, you know, it's all about, closing the book on one thing, closing that door so that something new can come into your life. And this is not positive or negative, okay? It's neither positive nor negative. This isn't about, when we close one cycle, it always has to be a negative cycle that we close, and then we open a new one and it's always going to be better. That's not how it works here, right? We could be closing this cycle on a negative experience that if we didn't learn, if we didn't change our behavior, if we didn't heal from that, then we just open the door on another negative experience. We're going to go in the same cycle again and again and again. But if we have closed the door on a negative cycle, we've learned, we've healed, we've reflected, we're going to open the door to new experiences, new lessons, new, better things, right? Better things will come into our life. But it can also be a positive cycle that you're ending for whatever reason. You can think of when a loved one passes away, right? And you had a really great relationship with them. And that was a really positive experience and something you didn't want to end. But now that chapter has closed. But it still allows the door to open for new experiences, new things. So it might be a grandparent passes away, and so that door is closed. But now, because of that, you were visiting at the seniors care facility, once a week. And so now, instead of visiting them, you've decided, you know what, I'm going to go visit another senior. I'll go and take 20 minutes, with 3 different seniors every week, just to give them, what people who don't have their family around and stuff, just to give them that experience. And that may open the door for you for these wonderful new experiences where you're learning things and finding out history and, enjoying yourself. And so it doesn't always have to be a negative experience ending in a positive experience opening up. It can be a positive experience closing, and it can be a negative experience opening up. So but really what you need to do is, when you find yourself with, when the world card appears in your spread, appears in your life, what you really need to do is reflect on the last chapter, reflect on the last cycle, reflect on the last that you were doing. And what did I learn from that? What do I need to heal from for that? Make sure you do that healing. And so that when you're moving forward in a more positive direction, and you're not going to repeat anything negative that did happen. And it could have been a wonderful cycle, and you're like, what did I learn from this wonderful cycle? It could be that I learned that I can trust some people. I learned that I can have a good cycle. It can be all these sorts of things. And so, but the world card, the ending of one chapter, the beginning of a new chapter, this is your opportunity to reflect, to learn, to heal, and to get rid of anything in your life that doesn't belong. Push it to the side. Don't make room for it in your life. And at the same time, opening yourself up to the good that can happen, opening yourself up to different opportunities, different things you want to achieve, different goals. And that could be even it too, when I was talking about the grandparent passing away. Well, it may be that, yes, it was a great thing to have your grandparent around. That was a good cycle. The grandparent passes away. That ends that chapter. But now, because you're not visiting them once a week, now you're going to go take a dance class once a week. And that opens you up to new experiences, new people, new opportunities, new friendships, new romantic partners, whatever it is. But if your grandparent had still been around, and of course we still wanted them around, but time goes on, and if your grandparent was still around at this point, you wouldn't have had those opportunities because you would have been here visiting your grandparent. But now that chapter is closed, and it's sad that it closed, we didn't want it to close, but it has opened up the opportunity for you now to take this dance class and to have these experiences over here. So just ensure that when you get this world card, it is about things being complete, and maybe about things being complete that you didn't want to be done, you didn't want to be over. Like, you thought you were in a good relationship, the relationship ended, and you're like, I didn't want this to end. But if somebody else ended your relationship, even if you loved the relationship or you thought it was good, they obviously weren't happy in it. They obviously were having issues, and that's not a really truly happy relationship. So now that chapter's closing and allowing you to go out and find a new relationship in which both of you are happy, both of you come together and form this equal give and take relationship. So I hope this message helped you today. I'm sending you peace, love, and happiness. Bye for now.